Alright guys, X Tutorials here, and today I'm going to be showing you how to set up and use MeTuS Delphi 2.8. There's been a lot of people asking how they set it up and how to port forward and all that stuff. This tutorial is going to show you in depth what to do, and if you have any questions then feel free to PM me. I'll also do TeamViewer with you to help you out. All I ask in return is for a like and a subscribe. Comment if you want to. Tell me how much of a good job I'm doing, or tell me where I can improve. I know there's a lot of hackers out there that think, oh, MeTuS Delphi 2.8, it's old, it's, you know, outdated, but it still does the job if you just want to shut down websites, boot people off Xbox Live and stuff. So yeah, let's get started with this tutorial. You'll need to download this package. I'll put the link in the description. Once you've downloaded it, extract it to your desktop. You can see it's got Cain enabled, DUC, the actual client itself, settings, stub, and text document I created to tell you what stuff does. So I'm just going to go through each file and tell you what they do. Cain enable is for you to be able to get pull IP addresses from Xbox Live when you're in parties, games as such. That's how you're going to get that IP address. If you wanted a tutorial on how to set that up, then PM me or leave a comment saying set it up. If I get more than, like, I don't know, about 20 comments saying to do one, then I'll be more than happy to do one. The DUC is sorry about that. The DUC is basically a tool that updates your IP address to your no IP account. I'll explain that when we get to it. If it sounds confusing, don't worry, you'll know everything about this at the end of the tutorial. This is the actual client itself. The settings is for the client, you know, for the background and stuff. The stub is a virus. I'm not giving you a virus. You need this stub to be able to create your server/virus to send to other people to click, and then they'll become your zombie. If it sounds confusing, I'll explain exactly what it does and why now. I'm just going to go ahead and open a tool to show you. If this pops up on your first use, you gotta click allow access to let it through your firewall. This is a clean copy, by the way. It is not bugged at all. I got it from Hack Forums forum. There's a kid on there doing loads of different stuff like MeTuS, Delphi, DAC, DOSer, XR booter, and stuff like that. So this is a clean copy, and there's loads of people also on that forum saying that he's legit. All of these have been run with scans and stuff. So yeah, let's get going. Basically, as you can see, I got like one zombie online now. I don't really use this no more. I use host booter. If you wanted to get host booter, which is a lot better than this, you could head over to your search bar address and then type in hostbooter.com. This is the most stable boot you can get your hands on. It's 22 GBP, that's pounds. In dollars I have no idea how much it is, but if you just agree to the terms, purchase, and he'll tell you everything to do, and it is the most stable boot you can get. But if you just want a free version, then this is what you're going to need. This guy here, I'm going to block out his information, but he volunteered to double click my virus to show you guys what it looks like when someone clicks it. So as you can see, it says what country they're from. Their server ID is default. Their IP address, which I'll probably block out. Status idle, that'll change when you type an IP address in there and you select your frequency and all that. I suggest if you're going to do it on Xbox Live, you do UDP and you do medium. If you do high, because it is quite an old program, then it might mess up your you know, zombies, where they, like, some might disconnect and stuff. So keep it on medium, UDP, send command once you put the IP address in there. 3074 is the Xbox default port. I think website is 80, and others you can just search up on Google. So as you can see, it says user and computer. I'm going to block that out. CPU is all of his information's there basically, and his operating system is Windows 7 Service Pack 1. So yeah, if basically if you go here to server build, you want to choose a port. I suggest 3174 for the port forwarding port. I'll explain that in a second. And your host, we're going to create a host right now. So if you want to head over to your web browser, once you're there, just go ahead and go to node-ip.info. Once you're there, you're going to have to sign up, use real information. They don't send you spam or anything, you just need to verify the account, and it is totally free. You can buy upgrading packages, but I just went for the free one. Once you've done it, just go ahead and log into your account. Once you've logged into your account, you'll see a page like this. Just go on add host. Once you've gone on add host, you want to create one letter and two numbers. So I'm just going to do D98. And then at the side of it you can see zap2.org. You need to make sure this is no-ip.info. Once that's done, just see if it's available by clicking create host. And as you can see, the one I just created is there, D98 there. It doesn't matter if you put it in capital, just going to put it to lowercase by default. So yeah, d98.no-ip.info. And yeah, I'm gonna remove it because I've already got one set up. So once you've created it, you don't want to remove it, you want to keep it. Once you've kept it, people say to go on a download client, but I've already done that for you, included it in the package. So what you want to do now is install this. Once you've installed it, you want to go ahead and open it up. So let me just open mine. When you open it, let me just, well, basically a window will come up where you have to put in your email address and password you used for the site. Once you've done that, this will come up. All you want to do is click select host, or this box might automatically pop up. Then all of your hosts you just created on no IP, so that D98 should be here, but obviously I deleted it so it's not. So the host I normally use is there. Just make sure it's selected and press save. Once you've done that, it will automatically update your static IP address to your no IP address account, basically. So every time you restart your computer, as you know, sometimes your IP address changes, your IPv4 or something like that it's called. Well, basically this will keep it updated for your bots to be able to know which IP address they go into as such. So yeah, once that's done, make sure this is open every time you use MeTuS Delphi or whatever. Make sure it's open. If you press the cross, then it'll be running on a little window here, so just make sure it's open. Right, once you've done that, you can go here and then type in your no IP address. So mine was d98.no-ip.info. And once you've done that, just select 3174 or any port you want, but I do suggest that one. And then make sure disable USB spread is on. If you enable it, then the bot will become unstable. Just click build and it'll put a file inside this folder called let me just do this. I'll just put d98.no-ip.info. Click build, successful build, okay, exit out, and you can see it's created a server.exe. Basically the stub was generated into the program generated your no IP into this stub and then created a server. So that's why the stub gets detected as a virus, because you need that to be able to create your server to send to other people. Basically all you got to do then is send that to people, and they've got to double click it or open it. You can bind it to anything. You can bind it to exes, images, just look it up and you'll be able to do it. I do suggest crypt and blinding it so it doesn't get recognized by antiviruses. You need a minimum of about 15 to 20 people to be able to boot someone off Xbox Live, and they must be all connected to you at once. But yeah, that's basically what you got to do now, is spread that round, and you've got your MeTuS Delphi all set up, your Cain set up, and you do use DUC. Now what we got to do for the zombies to be able to receive connections, like to receive commands off you and for you to receive commands off them, is port forwarding. This gets everyone, so what I suggest doing is going to Google and then go into this website called port forwarding. Once you've clicked it, just go to the first link, and then once you're on the website, all you want to do is scroll down, look at your router. Mine is a DSL, I think. Let me just log into my router. 192.168.1.1. That's your default gateway. You got to put in your default gateway. If you don't know what it is, then go to there, CMD, and then type in IP config, and then if you look here, default gateway 192.168.1.1, type that in your search bar and you'll be prompted to log in. As you can see, my hub is a DSL 2680. Just look what yours is. I'm gonna go to DSLs. If I can get to it, my computer is extremely laggy. There we go. What was it? 2680. There, 2680. Just click it, and once you've clicked it, you can see it says click here to skip advertisements. Go ahead and click that, and then once you've clicked it, you want to scroll down a bit more, and you want to go to the default guide, which is that there. Just go ahead and click that when mine loads up. Don't think it will. I think it's going to crash. No, there we go. Default guide. Go ahead and click it. Just wait for it to load again. Right, and there you go. Right, don't skip this step. This is really important. I don't know why, but it just says it. But to be safe, just go ahead and type in your static IP address. Now, your static IP address will be in CMD also, which is your IPv4, which is your static IP address. So yeah, follow that across. Mine's 192.168.1 then dot something. I'm not going to tell you, but yeah, just get yours and then whack it into there. Once you've whacked it into there, just follow the steps on what to do. This will tell you everything about port forwarding as such. The only thing I can suggest is if you can see is firewall and DMZ. If you click that and then disable the firewall, once you've done that, just go to the port forwarding. As you can see, it says private IP. Put that as your static IP address, and then the protocol type, when you want it to be both or all, depending which router. And then your public start port and your public end port, you want to put that as the same port you put as MeTuS Delphi, which is 3174, and then the end is 3174 also. That means when people double click the server you just built, they'll send commands to your router through the 3174 port, and that'll be the only port you want, so put them both in there. And when you want to DOS an IP address, you'll type the IP into the box of MeTuS Delphi, and then you'll send the command to all your zombies through the port 3174 saying to DOS that IP address, so they send packets from their computer or hub, whichever. They send packets from their internet connection basically to the IP address you put in. The connection, I think you just leave it as PVCO. I did anyway, or leave it as a default that's been selected. Once you've done that, just go ahead and click apply or whatever, or add, and then as soon as you see it in there, you should be all ready to go. If you have any problems, then please let me know. I'd be happy enough to help. Like I said, the download link for that will be in the description. I'll be happy to do it over TeamViewer. All I ask in return is a like and a subscribe. Until next time, guys, peace.